Gabrielle Chanel, huge subject, incredible designer, one of the most iconic women, never mind designers of the 20th century. Now, this suit behind me is from about 1958. That her legend was firmly in place by the 1920s. It's very easy to forget that in 1939, at the outbreak of war, and when the first whispers of a German occupation of Paris were going to take place, Chanel cut her ties. She fled. She left France. She was the icon of France in many ways. And commercially, she was the singular biggest employer in France. She had a workforce of nearly 2,000, nearly all of whom were women. So at exactly the time that her country needed her, and when every woman needed to have a salary, while their men were away fighting, Chanel dismissed them all with no severance, no notice, no pay, and she fled to Switzerland. While the time of the Second World War is a very dark period in Chanel's personal history as well as that of her company, this suit really expresses so much of what was brilliant about her and as a part of that comeback. Now, her understanding of cloth, of what she wanted a garment to do, was always about what she felt a woman deserved and needed. In the 20s, it was that message of freedom. It was stepping away from the corset. That was a continued idea throughout her collection. She wanted a woman to be able to drink, drive, dance, vote, marry, do whatever she wanted because she was just a human being and shouldn't be contained in any way that a man wasn't. When she came back in 1953, following the Second World War, her collection was actually a flop. It was saved by a suit. It was saved by a very somber, sober, blue and white suit that Harper's Bazaar felt obliged to take and photograph. And Chanel and her tailoring and that idea of the boucle suit, of the jersey suit, of the Chanel we know now, that's when that really took hold. That's when that moment happened, about 4 years before this one. Fantastically cut sleeves, shaped so that if you're sat at a table, the cuff finishes at exactly the right point and is flattering while you're eating or while you're talking. A very narrow upper arm to always make sure that the body's in proportion. A jacket that has got its famous gilt chain braiding inside it to hold the weight so that it always sits perfectly along the shoulder line and off the hem. Inverted pleats within the skirt so that you're not crowding or padding out the hip or the calf line. There are all of these nuances within a Chanel suit which really do set it apart.